Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode. And today we have Sakina. Sakina will tell us about herself, what she does, and everything in between. So, welcome, Sakina.
Thank you. So, do you want me to just go off that brief of who I am and what I do? So, my name is, well, unofficially I'm Sakina Mirichi, but my ID reads as my first name is Mildred. Ukinitumia M-Pesa ama nikutumia ndio utajua sasa mimi ni nani. Yeah, Mildred Sakina Ochieng are my official names. I'm 33 years old. I'm told this is my Jesus year.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people get so excited about that because this is when Jesus died. So I don't know what is exciting. What exactly is exciting about that?
Okay.
I'm a mom of two. I am married. I work in the creative space. I've been working in it since I was 18 years old. Yeah. Yeah, this is all that I've done since I finished high school.
Okay.
I started out as an actor.
But wait. Before we start there.
Yes.
Start as from when you were young.
Yeah.
What were your dreams in terms of career?
Okay, so I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know why, but I thought like that was a really cool career. But then I was struggling in maths and I knew like you need math to be good at math to be a doctor, so I dropped that. Then in high school in form 1, which is like my first year of high school, I wanted to be an anthropologist because I really like enjoyed that section in history. But then I was like, okay, and then what is the career progression here? Like, what happens after being an anthropologist? Then all I have to do is just go alafu sweep bones and whatnot.
You'll become a professor.
Yeah, that's where it ends, right? And I was like, okay, maybe not. Then by the time I was finishing high school, I wanted to be a diplomat, like my aunt. I wanted to work for the UN. And then when the results came out, well, that was an interesting reality check. First of all, I think I really struggled because a lot of my friends were like, "Oh my goodness, yay, I get straight to uni," and I had to bridge. I had to do a bridging course, and that was a very difficult time in my life because I felt like everyone was moving ahead and me was held back. Like I was so embarrassed. I didn't even tell people like where I was, like what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, I do these classes and whatever. But I I now had the time and the freedom to pursue my passion in the arts. So a little bit before the results came out, I joined a traveling theater group. So the compromise, like I was told, okay, since you have like these 3 months before the results come out, okay, you can go do what you'd want with drama, and that's how like I just got into it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was acting and also doing like stage management, which is basically like the person who is like, okay, guys, let's bring the costumes and the props. Okay, we need to be here at this time, like literally, just like the boss of the little like whatever. There's the producers, but then there's like now the stage manager who does like all the other things backstage. So yeah, my results came out. I didn't do too well. I had to do a bridging course, but I tried. Like I always was intentional about making sure that I'm in spaces where like creative things are happening. So I'd still do like auditions. I joined the drama ministry, I think, in church. So I was doing a bit of that. What else? Yeah, I just feel like I was always just looking to keep myself active before now I actually joined university. Like the rest of my friends, now I could freely say where I went to university.
Okay.
And after I bridged, I actually did well enough that I could. My father wanted me to study law. I have no idea what he thought, what he like. I was like, I'm not interested. And I was so conflicted about it. I was like, Dad, I don't want, like, I had to write him a letter. Did I write him a letter? I just wanted to do another course. And it was like, which one? Communication. And I was like, okay, fine, just apply. I was like, oh, that was easy. Yeah. So I ended up doing a communication degree. at Daystar University. I did electronic media as my major, which is now TV and radio production.
Okay.
I did a few courses in psychology. My minor was in psychology, actually. I really liked it. If I had the capacity, I would have done both of them as majors. But yeah.
And then you did communications.
Yeah.
After communications, so did you get a job in communications or you look for something else?
No. So I did an internship at a production company that kind of, oh goodness. Now this is the chapter of my life where I'm just like, if I could erase it, which kind of was supposed to morph into a job, right?
Okay.
But it was just a very not great work environment. And yeah, let's just say, like, don't have people under the age of 25 like without like clear guidelines, because it basically ran like this. So you come into the office, it's dependent on whether you have a project or not. You do the project. In the in between, when you're waiting for, I think, client work, it's just, we're just chilling, hanging out. Now the idea of the person in charge then was, when there's no work, you're supposed to be learning things. So we had equipment, we had like cameras, we had like, stuff like you could learn editing and whatever. But my strength has never really been in the technical. Like, I really struggled with that. But I was good at writing, like coming up with stories, doing character development work, like, things that involved the human aspect of it. That's what I was good at. In hindsight, though, in retrospect, Aki, hata mimi as an intern, I think I really wasted my opportunities because right now there's nowhere that you'll just like have an office that has like cameras and whatever. Like, you have like free internet, you have time to learn things. So I didn't see it that way. So I can look back and say, okay, that was not the best decision. But yeah, that internship that was supposed to turn into work did kind of, but didn't, because I never did end up having like a written contract with terms and anything. I did end up though working on so there I did like a couple of short films. Then I ended up doing a TV show and working in the script supervision department. Yeah, so it was a show that was on Mnet. Yeah.
Okay, you can explain to us what is a
Script,
supervision
script
department?
supervision slash continuity. So the department I was working in is basically, so you see like when you're watching telly and for example, somebody picks up something with their right hand and they were holding a pencil. What happens behind the scenes is that you're doing like many takes, right? And sometimes the actor might forget that number one, they were holding a pencil. They might forget that it was in the right hand and not the left hand. So that's my job, to be like, oh, in this frame, in this shot, they were holding a pencil and they were holding it in their right hand. Or in this shot they said this line, but in the next one they didn't say that line. Or in this, so a lot of the times you're shooting out of sequence, which means one episode, it's like maybe say, I don't know, maybe 10 scenes. So you're not going to shoot day one, scene one, day two, whatever. You might end up shooting the last scene 10 on the first day because of availability of locations and actors and whatever. So you're shooting out of sequence. So maybe today you're dressed in a blue t-shirt and blue jeans, but the next day we are shooting a scene where you're wearing something totally different. But then say the day after that, we need to shoot you back in the blue shirt and blue jeans. So also your job is to be like, oh, the wardrobe department, she wasn't wearing, this is the first episode, and this is scene one, which is shot on Monday, and today is Wednesday, and she was wearing this. So if she's wearing a white t-shirt, it messes up with the continuity. So that's like what you do, like down to, you can get like really specific to this was shot in the daytime, in the afternoon, but this light is for daytime but early morning. So how are you going to like fix that? Like, it can get like really technical. I now have this knowledge, but it's a department that I do not enjoy at all.
It has a lot of
yeah, you need to
detailing.
be very keen, you need to be very detailed. Yeah. So I'm grateful for the skills and for the knowledge and for the experience, but it's not my favorite department to work in. Yeah.
Okay, so how long did you do the internship for?
mm, it was I think it was a year and some months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the, there's the stage where it's internship, then I graduated because I need that internship to graduate, so I finished that. Then it's like, oh, you're in limbo. You're like, okay, you're technically not meant to be an intern. You're not an intern, but you're not an employee. So what is that? That is what I was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So after graduation now,
Yeah.
what was your first job?
So after graduation, I hung around that same company because it was like, well, I can't just stay at home and sit at home and do nothing. But also I wasn't really getting paid for this. Like before that job came along, I wasn't getting a stipend or anything. So it was a very tricky situation. Honestly, I don't even know how I survived. So I hung around that company until I was let go of. Yeah.
Was it because the job ended or
It didn't end on the best terms. Like
okay?
I'm like, gosh, me, I'm not fireable. Like me, I think I was doing okay. But yeah, I think it was a difference of I don't even want to say there was a project that we were working on and we just were not on the same page, and that is how my time there ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that,
After that, gosh. Now, also, this is a thing that maybe people should not do. So while I was there, and this is the thing, you're always told, don't wait to be fired, resign. I'd had a feeling something was coming. But me, I hung around. And also, I was looking for a job using that company's resources. So me, I was just like, I'm there applying for work because I'm just having a feeling. So I ended up working for an online publication. Yeah, I was, basically writing articles. And also there, like, I struggled. Like, so it was me and my friend. She was crushing it. And you see that the tricky thing about this was you're not going to get a paycheck at the end of the month. There's a certain number of articles like that need to be not only written but published. So you get paid based on the published articles. And the kind of work that I'd get, like me, I'm the long form writer. Like I want to sit, I want to research, I want to whatever. But the way that you make sure that you have your article at the end of the month is like, do quick, like work quickly. I don't work quickly. That's one of my whatevers. So I also really struggled with that. I didn't even stay there for long. It was just like a few months because I was like, this work is not working for me.
but at that point you were using your communication skills
Yes,
from
yeah,
uni.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then now, what was the next journey?
What was the next? What did I do after that? Gosh. Oh, yeah. After that, so remember, all through after I'm finishing high school, I'm still doing auditions. Like, I'm still looking out for anything that's related to the kind of stuff that I like. So I went for an audition and I met someone there who was like, so we are looking to train teachers to go teach drama in schools. So I think I took down her contact. So if you're interested, just maybe send your details or whatever. We are doing a training. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. Yes, I would absolutely love to do this. Now backtrack a little bit. In my last semester of uni, um I had signed up for a volunteer program, a teaching volunteer program. So I'd done a short stint at a primary school here, North High Ridge Primary School. So basically, we were coming in like teaching support for the actual teachers that were there. And I really liked the experience because also this was a school, like this is not a fancy school. This is a school where can I say underprivileged kids go to. Like some of the kids that would go there would only be coming because they are guaranteed that there's a meal a day. So that school feeding program, that's why they'd come. And they were like, students with such like so many challenges, like actual learning disabilities that nobody could do anything about because the school doesn't have the resources. The parents don't have the, like, they're just trying to survive. So that was like deeply impactful to me, because I was like, yeah, I really, this is something that I'd like to do. So teaching, I was like, yes. Working with kids, yes. So yeah, that is how like my interest for teaching started. So now when I was told about this teaching program, I was like, great. And then I don't have to pay anything. I just have to show up. Yes, sign me up. So that was the thing that I did for a few weeks. And then I now became a teaching assistant. So yeah, I've done also like a few schools here and there in this Nairobi city. And that was fun. I used to prepare lesson plans. You'd learn games, and then you go and then you do it with the students. I would also like assess, like, is it like homework, assess exams. Like, it was fun.
Yeah, teaching is always fun.
Yeah.
I've done that
Yeah.
for a couple of months too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was that the last stint, or you're still doing it?
So when did I do it in 2015, 2016? Like, I think I did it for a stretch, like maybe for a year and a few months. And then, yeah, that also ended. Why did it end? I forget. But there was an issue with one of the schools. And then it kind of like, we kind of went on an indefinite break.
Okay.
And then once again, I found myself needing to start again. Yeah.
I can say you're a champion of starting again.
Not, but by then, this is not like in my personality. Like, I honestly like comfort. How I found myself in this line of work really it's strange.
We can say God knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, what did
After
you do?
that, what did I do? What did I do? I think, okay, so there was a stretch of time where I think there was just like, I was just, floating by. I forget what it was that I was doing. Probably some audition, probably something creative. I just don't remember right now.
Okay.
But it was around this time that, oh yeah, I was doing a play. I remember I was doing a play. So, I wasn't like totally just there. So I did a play. And then, in a series of unfortunate events for most people, but maybe not for me, the producer of this play was like, I'm doing something else. It's a smaller show, it's a smaller cast. Would you be interested? And I'm like, yes, sure, of course. And this is where, maybe not related to this, but maybe might be, is where I met my now husband.
Okay.
Who is an actor. And, interactions. And he tells me, I'm working with a children's home to put up a Christmas show. And you've told me that you've worked with children and you're trained in it. I am struggling with it. Would you help? I'm like, of course, sure. And so, yeah, we worked together to put up like that Christmas show. So that was also like really fulfilling in its way. Yeah, so we put that show up. And then what happened after that? Then a few months later, by this time, of course, we are now not friends or colleagues. We are more than that. A few months later, what happens? I think I meet other friends of his. Yeah, I'm introduced to like other friends of his who do production. So I find myself just in that cycle of, oh, we let's do a short film, do that. Let's do this, do that. Yeah, so it was just a lot of like, short films. We did a job for who? IEBC.
Wow.
A training video. That was hectic. I don't know if they even eventually used it because so we were given like, oh, and this was because, so one of the shows that we worked on, so okay, now husband is boyfriend who's introducing me to his circles of people who do the same thing.
Okay.
And then I found myself as a stage manager. Now, stage management, is basically a theater term, literally like the person behind the scenes who's like coordinating everything. What I started with when I was 18 now is what I'm like actually doing professionally. And I think, we got, okay, that was the first production. So I'm working with this team of like very many people, like maybe more than 50 people. Like, wow, like I'm in charge of that. And that was exciting because I was like, wow, it all circles back. Like now I'm actually like working with people who are much older than me, by the way. Um, and then after that, someone in the cast is like, hey, you guys have a company. So you guys, husband at the time, who is boyfriend at the time, like, he has a company. He asked me to join. Like, he had so much faith in me. Asked me to join as one of the people, directors, I guess.
Okay.
And he referred us for that IEBC job.
Okay.
Of course, we didn't have capacity, like all the whatever. So we call one of our production friends who has an actual company up and running. We take the meeting, we get the job. Then we're given this thick booklet of, okay, you see all of the stuff in here, put it in a video that can be used to train the officials.
Okay.
So, we read through it, then we write a script. So one of the courses that I'd done in uni was script writing. So, and then I'd done various workshops on script writing, directing, whatever. So this was just like, wow, look at me actually using the things I learned in school to put this together. So we put that together, and that was like very hectic because you're trying to put this like almost academic, very technical stuff into something that's interesting. So we had to like create scenarios and characters and still make sure that the information is accurate. So we had like the craziest 3-day shoot. Like imagine you're getting home at 11 a.m. and maybe you're getting picked up at 3:30 or 4 a.m. and you do this for 3 days straight. And where we were shooting was cold, like so cold you couldn't even feel your fingers. Oh, that was crazy. And then after we've done, they even sent officials over just to see that we were on the right track. Then when we look at it, when it gets to editing, somehow things just start going wrong. Like, what? No, what is happening on the screen? Oh my goodness. Then you have to go to the big bosses, like the big bosses. Who was the one who was in charge at that time? I forget his name. So they come and we are just sinking in our seats because we're like, oh my God, this is. Then they were like, what's this? This is not what we. But we're like, what? But you sent an official and you gave us the book. But yeah, that's not what we are using now. Oh my God. It was crazy.
So what were you seeing on the video when you're trying to edit?
No, it was not. First of all, the footage looked weird. Like, the final day of shooting was the hardest day ever because everybody was falling asleep. The director was falling asleep. The guy behind the camera was falling asleep. The sound guy was falling. Like, people were tired, really tired. And I was the one, okay, guys, come on, we can do it. Who is just like the mere person who is like the slate, what do they call it? The clapper. So I'm the person who comes, that thing that has a bar like tin one, whatever. So my job was like, come on, guys, we can do this. We can do this. So the last day is what we were looking at, the footage, and we were like, oh my God, oh my God, we can't use this and we can't reshoot. Like, it's a whole thing of having to call back everybody. And I'm like, okay, just do the best that you can. Like, Aki, whoever edited that project, if you ever hear this, and she swiftly left the company after that. Sorry, Aki. It was very stressful. Oh my God.
But you got paid at the end of it.
Imagine we got paid. Wow.
And was it like one of your first gigs that you're paid and you said, okay, I'm working for something that I'm actually paid with?
No. You remember in that company during like my internship, that Kalimbo, whatever, that TV show, that one we were getting paid.
Okay.
So that I was like, oh, look at me. But did I even know like, oh, how you can make great use of your money or whatever? Nope. No. So yeah. So we got paid for that government job, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, that was a miracle. Then what do you do after that? Yeah, so it just, it's just like constant project. You do this, we do a few competitions. with the teams that we were working with. Machakos Festival, I think one and two, like two productions that we participated in, like made it like top three eventually, and that was nice as well. Then is it fiance at the time? Now he has graduated from boyfriend to fiance.
Okay.
So as we are like, okay, now we need to put up our own production. I was like, what? How are we going to do that? We don't even have like money. It's like, no, we have to do this. So he had taken a quick writing class. So he wrote the script and I produced. And that is one of those projects I'm like, I can't believe we pulled it off, because we barely had any capital, god. But we'd saved up some money from that government job that we were paid. That's what we used to, like, at least get the venue.
Okay.
And yeah, we called people, they came and watched our show. We paid everybody, like we didn't have Denise, praise God, but we only had 10,000 left after paying everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then on to another one.
After that, we didn't do another one, but we did, like, with our friends who had like stage shows. Yeah, so I kept on stage managing. My significant other stroke, now his fiance is still acting and whatever, so we did a lot of projects like together, and because our friends were doing the same things, we did a lot of projects together. And yeah, that was just like literally it. Just you keep doing, you do a film here, you do a play here, you do like a short job over here. Yeah. And that, imagine, that has been my life.
So even now you're doing stage managing.
I do more producing now.
Okay.
So producing is like, I'm the person now who even finds a stage manager. Like, so right now, there's a show that we're doing that opens next. By the time this will have, I don't know when this is going up, but on the 14th of April, we have a show. So I'm producing for that. So I'm the person who like brings in everything together. So
Okay.
it's, getting the cast together, because this show that we've done, we did it before. So you get the original cast together. Okay, let's get the schedules. Okay, everybody's great. Okay, so we have like social media, whatever. Okay, make sure that's going. All right, great. Okay, then we need to sell tickets and whatever. I mean, ticket sales is like a whole other headache. Marketing, getting people to buy tickets is a whole other headache. But also, like, I have my hand in that. Oh, we need ushers and volunteers for the day. Okay, I'm handling that. The budget for the show, put that together. So I'm kind of like doing like the broad whatever, just like putting everything together, whatever communication is needed for the show, whatever publicity, if I need to do any interviews, I'm the person who does that. But also, now to take you back a bit, the beauty of, is it networking or just like being the right place at the right time, there's when I wasn't doing like my regular like classes or units, or no, aside from the regular units, I'd always look for like workshops that I could do.
Okay.
So there's a lady there who used to do like acting workshops, directing workshops, and I'd always just try and make sure that I do them. And so she's the person that I'm working with now. So she's known me since my campus days. And so for her, like I literally just like assist whatever needs to be done. So we were overseeing a project that's been like start, stop for years. And it looks like finally, after, I can almost say 5 years of start, stop, it's finally over. So I was
Okay.
kind of doing like project management, or
Mm.
literally anything that she needs me to do. So this errand needs to be run. Okay, do you know who can do this? Like, if you need it done, I'm the person to figure it out. So yeah, I guess a lot of what I do in production, if you transfer those skills, it's project management. Yeah.
And
So
that now that one you've done for
now this would be, so that was 2022, 2023, 2024. So is that 2 or 3 years? Yeah,
this will
since
be your
20.
third year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing.
So in your current role,
Yeah.
you can tell me exactly like what you do in terms of Is it a weekly type of thing, or you wake up every day in the morning and you know I'm supposed to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 for this company, and how do you do it?
So what I love about it is it's very flexible, right? So like I just like literally need to know. So this is what needs to happen by the end of this week. However you get it done, that's like up to you and your time management and whatever, but it needs to get done. So I like the work because I have flexibility. Like I have time. Like I can, if it can get done in 2 hours, then whatever else I need to do with my time, that's up to me.
Okay.
And it's really dependent on like the project. So right now, so the organization has like different pillars. So like the play that I've just spoken about falls under the performance pillar. Yeah, performing arts. So this is one of those like time bound projects. Like 14th of April it ends. Yeah, and then until we pick up the next one. But then on the other side, the technical, that project that I was overseeing, that was more like a weekly whatever. Like at the end of the week, this needs to have happened. Have we done that? Have we achieved the goal? And that's, it's still somebody else working under me. So it's like asking, okay, so how far have you guys gone? What support do you need? So whatever support like was needed, if it's, we need to coordinate a meeting just to touch base, that's what I'd do. If it's they'd need me to just go through the work, give comments, that's what I'd do. It's sending emails, making phone calls, stuff like that. That's also, you know, what I do. But it's really more project to project basis. Sometimes you have like 2 or 3 things running at the same time. Sometimes you have one big thing. And, sometimes it's easy going. Like you're in between like finishing one and starting another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not time bound specific.
Yeah.
So it's not like an 8 to 5 job.
No, it's not.
And then the skills that are required to be in that type of position. In fact, you can even start by in your contract,
Yeah.
what is written as your position?
So it was so initially I was given the wonderful title of Chief of Operations.
Wow.
um and literally for me I would almost interpret it like a personal assistant with a really fancy title.
Okay.
Because I did feel like, you know what, a COO is like literally if anything is to happen to the CEO, you're the next person, whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's nice, but I feel like the tasks that have been given are not as like
You don't
heavy.
feel like a COO.
Yeah, I don't feel like a COO
Okay.
because like it's such a small tiny team, and a lot of us actually are, it's on like a contract basis, so no one is there working 8 to 5. People pick the days that they will show up. Now like for me, I work from home, but there are people who go to the office like 3 times a week.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I mean, yeah, like, are you having like the big conversations like with the big dogs? No, I'm not. I'm not. So that's why I'm like, maybe that title was like a bit embellished. So this year it reads like, I'm the producer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, producer mostly for these projects. And what else does it say? And I think literally like anything else that needs to be done project wise. But now that we finished that like project that's taken years to complete, I mean it's in phases. So we finished the first phase. The next phase, I don't know when it will begin, but the bulk of it really has taken off. So yeah.
Okay. So now we are going to I always say we are winding down.
Yeah.
And I will, because now you're married,
Yeah.
you can tell me or tell us
Yeah.
about your social life. and how you balance it with work. So work-life balance.
Work-life balance. That's such an so interesting, isn't it? I feel like my work. I like that I've structured my or somehow my work has doesn't take like precedence over everything else. So what I mean is I am so thankful for my boss because for instance when my mom was unwell and then she ended up passing. I didn't, like how there are workplaces that are like you just have 1 week. I didn't just have 1 week. I think I had maybe like up to a month or something just to like settle in. And then even then it was just like, whenever you're ready, like just let me know how much work you can take on. And I really like appreciated that. And what it does then is like it makes you want to give your best because you're not feeling like very under pressure.
Okay.
And then like when my dad died, now the following year,
Sorry.
yeah, the following year, my like when I had to travel to just see to him when he was in hospital in the ICU, I didn't even like have like pressure of when are you coming back or whatever. I couldn't even like concentrate, but somehow just like things were taken care of. The office like put together like some money, and it was sent to me. And again, there was no pressure for when are you returning to work and all of that. So I really appreciate that I can work in an environment where, like, when big life things are happening, I'm not feeling under pressure to prioritize work. So it's very flexible that I can be like, look, I know I said I would be available this day and time, but I'm not able to. But I can do the thing, like I can make it work, but I just like might not be able to show up at that time. And then I love that okay, it's a love hate. I love that I can work from home, but now I need to transition out of working from home because I have toddlers who need a lot of attention.
Okay.
And they don't understand when you need to work. So I love that I get to see my children grow up. Sorry. I love that I get to spend time with them. Like I'm able to wake up with them. I'm able to put them to bed. I don't have to sit through traffic. I'm able to like bring my kid to work, as long as he's being minded by somebody. So honestly, it's a blessing. I know people like would love, that kind of arrangement. Like I can host people during the week. Like guys, it sounds like a dream. And it is, except like you kind of sacrifice on the, how can I say, amount of money that you'd like to make.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm in that transitional space where I'm actively thinking. I like the pace of my life right now because it's not go go go.
Okay.
But I want to make more money. I want my kids to go to a certain kind of school. I want to be able to know that I can go on holiday. I want to be able to have things like an emergency fund. I want to invest. And those are conversations that I'm having and thinking of. Okay, with all the skills that I have amassed since starting in 2009.
Okay.
Is this 14? Is this my 15 year 15 years doing this, all of this? I think there's a way to, is it not pivot into a different career, but use the skills that I have to kind of expand into other things. So one of the things that I want to do is to start like teaching drama as me, because I've always worked under people, but I want to now branch out as me. And I also want to like put up my own shows with our own company. And yeah, I just want to do more because I feel like, yeah, I've done the time I have papers, I have certifications, like I have experience. So, just trying to figure out how I can leverage that to live the kind of life that I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you've even answered the subsequent questions that I had.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can tell me like the challenges that you faced through your career transitions.
Yeah.
And even now.
And hey, money, boy, gosh. Someone might listen and be like, wow, it just seems like you're living such a charmed life. But what you don't know is, luckily, my parents never pressured me to move out or anything. If I had that kind of pressure, I would not be able to do the stuff that I have done.
Okay.
So I lived at home up until like I got married. And my parents also are not like, okay, now you have to, pay for what you can, or at the very least, if you need money, hiyo ni kazi yako. Food here is free, accommodation is free, but anything else that you want to do, that's on you. So I've had that kind of support, even though, let me just tell you, my parents were always just like, this is not like a safe career path. What do you mean you're still doing this? So my parents were supportive, even though they didn't understand what I was doing. And my dad and my mom would send me like job alert. Like I got a job alert for people to look for meerkats. You know what meerkats are? Like to basically, it's a kind of job, I would say, almost like KWS. Like CG, you go and random things. I was sent a job prompt for engineering. Like I think they just get like jobs and then forward, which I'd sometimes get offended, but I'm like, I know they were just trying to help.
Yeah.
But that's also been the challenging thing, like people not taking your work seriously. And then, it's worse when you're always broke. Like you just, people wanachanga wewe huwezi because you just don't have the money. You just can't, you don't get to do all the things that you want to do because you don't have the money. And then just like the starting over again. So it does take a certain kind of resilience to follow this career path, to just be like, okay, it's ended, all right, we start again. I would I would not recommend it for mental health purposes. Yeah, so not having that like stable thing that you can say like, yeah, at least I'm good for like this extended period of time. And even like for people like, say, like you see shooting movies and series, of course there's a challenge of, yeah, you have to wait like 3 months after the job is done to get paid, which is just very inconvenient. At least in our industry. You can't speak for other people. And yeah, having to create things from scratch, it takes a lot, like a lot of self-confidence to be able to say, okay, like if it's a play, I'm writing this and I'm putting it out there, and I'm getting people, I hope you guys can come and watch it and like it. And if people don't like it, like, artists are sensitive people. So sometimes you're like, ouch, you didn't like it, and that was my blood, sweat, and tears. So yeah, there are those challenges.
Wow. Okay. Something that has come in my mind
Yeah.
is, because you've talked about mostly being behind the camera, behind the stage. Have you ever found yourself acting?
Yeah, I have actually. If you, I've done I've done an ad for KRA. Alafu I think the next year ndio wakanita wakasema, by the way, you've not been filing sijui this it is, oh my god, let me tell you. What? Yeah, so I've done ads. I mean, now I'm doing, like, I'm producing for the play, but I'm also on stage for that.
Okay.
I've done short films that have, yeah, toward the world. I think I got an award here or there. um yeah, so I, like I said, I started out actually acting, but I find like I am more fulfilled behind the scenes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
We almost are the last, um, maybe last questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to give an advice to someone who wants to pursue a career as a creative,
Yeah.
and also what skills they need to have apart from resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I would say, um, of course, yeah, go for it. But
Mm-hmm.
if it is at all possible, learn as much as you can about your skill. So I'm not saying like go and get a degree. That would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, oh yeah, there's a time I applied for a government job, like a part-time lecture position, which I got actually,
Mm-hmm.
but then just the organizational chaos there, like sema to peace out. So like it helps, and this is debatable, it helps to have some professional qualifications. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not going to do like a 4-year course or whatever, if you can just find like those short courses, 3 months, 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
9 months, like do that. Because it doesn't it not only helps you professionalize what you're doing, but also opens up your mind. Like you think you know it all, but you actually don't. So if you can, just keep your eyes peeled, always look for opportunities to learn, and then put them don't put the money first. I find the people who want to, their motivations, the motivations of people nowadays who want to get into this business, because now they've seen like people are making money, right? Like social
Mm-hmm.
media has really changed the game. But back in my day, when you are joining this space or this profession,
Mm-hmm.
you know that only the chosen few, like the creme de la creme, are a very small percentage. So a lot of the people who are doing it, you're doing it because you actually like love it, even when there's no money to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people I find are like, wow, this person can make this much money from doing this. Like, don't put the money as the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, look more to make connections, like that thing of networks are your net worth. A lot of the jobs that let's say that I've gotten, I'd say like word of mouth or referrals.
Mm-hmm.
You do a good job on a project, and you never know, like it could be somebody who was even like below you who might end up recommending you for something. So was it, which year was it a couple of years ago? I remember it was towards the end of the year and we were in a bind. And I called somebody who was once my assistant and was
Mm-hmm.
like, look, may need work. Help me out here. And I got the job. And then I ended up being her assistant,
Wow.
which is like interesting. But yeah, you're only as good as your last job. So always just do a good job,
Okay.
because people, even if someone doesn't talk directly to you, people are watching and they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I know somebody who can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3, and for people who like are not believers or whatever, like this might go over your head, but the that I am where I am right now, imagine it's just God. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can, tell you practically, like I've mapped it out how I did it and whatever, but really it's only God who has kept me.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many times I wanted to give up and throw the towel. And I can tell you, I've only, is it just like 1 or 2, like out of all the work that I've done, maybe less than 5 jobs I used a CV, maybe even 3. Like I've not updated my CV, I don't know for how long.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't the stuff that has gotten me work. So if you are a believer, like pray about it, commit all your plans to the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll make things happen that even you couldn't have. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
What's your vision as Sakina?
Mm-hmm.
So where will you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say 5 years,
Yeah.
but you'll say up and mefika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um well, right now it's so interesting. Like right now it's just like 15 years. That's a whole teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And just the other day I was 18, clueless. um But first of all, I think it's important to, smell the roses, smell that coffee, I've worked, like I've done good work. And so first of all is to acknowledge that, yeah, I've done it, and I've, I'm worth I'm worth whatever I will want to ask for now.
Okay.
So right now, actually, I sat down with is it like a life coach or someone, uh, somebody who is going to help me get to like the next stage. And he had this interesting thing that he said, you know, there are lots of people who like start out like they want to make the money, but then they leave all that behind because they want to create impact. Me, I've been creating impact, and I want to make money. So that is my vision. I want to make money. Money is a good thing. Money gives you choices. Money affords you comfort. And that's like, now I just want to like leverage the skills that I have to live the kind of life that I envision. I want to see my children, like, would I like them to do this? Yeah, sure. Lakini pia like I want them to be able to not get to that point where you're at 0.00 bob, because like this is the only thing that you can do, and you haven't figured out how to make it profitable for you. And I'm not here to say that you know everything is about money. Gosh, if you know me, I've done whatever's where I'm like, that's a great idea, let's do it. Am I getting paid? No, but let's do it, which is great. But I want my children to be able to have a comfortable life and to have options, so that whatever it is that they choose to do, even if it's this, they have a little bit more knowledge on how to survive than I did. I want to still, like, I want to be those people who is like, you know what, I want to travel, so let me just pack up and go. But also I want to still be creating up until like my brain stops working. Like, as long as my brain is still working, I still want to continue to create. I still want to continue producing and writing, directing. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
Oh my, I think I feel like I became a mom and I forgot what those were. Can somebody say sleeping? Because I'm not doing much of that. Okay, love shopping. Wow, actually, retail therapy is a thing,
It
but
is
I
a
feel
thing.
like I've not like properly done that for a long while. I no actually love hanging out with friends, because it feels like now time is so limited. So just like even an afternoon, oh my goodness, that just makes me feel so good inside. Um, what other hobbies do I have? Before it used to be reading. May don't know what happened. It is my aspirational hobby now to say reading. But yeah, those are just a few of them.
Okay.
Mm.
I think we are done.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you came.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing, but that's what I can say.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's listening or
Yeah.
watching, you can do a shameless plug for the 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, on the 14th of April, Spread Your Garment Over Me. This is a story, like we're bringing together 14, 14 stories from women in the Bible. So I play the first woman, Eve, and then I play Claudia, who was Pilate's wife. So you know that portion in the Bible where it says he was written for a note? I am she. Yeah. So, come and see, like, there are some faces that you've seen on your televisions. Come and see them up close on stage. It's just one day only, two shows, 2:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. Advanced tickets are now on sale at 2,000 shillings on madfan.com. Yeah.
Okay. And for someone who would want to hire you or who would want to get your services, how can they find you?
Well, I am reachable on my socials. Okay, I want to say I'm Sakina Mirichi on all whatevers, but that's not true. On Instagram, Sakina Mirichi. I look at DMs. On Facebook, Mildred Ocheng. But the place where like you are most likely like you will find me maybe quicker. My email address, sakinamildred09@gmail.com. Drop me an email and we can work. We can talk.
Okay. And with that, we call it a wrap.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So